Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Versus series episode where today we're looking at Antarctica versus Eight Below. Two movies about, uh, how do I describe this? So, back in the day, there was this situation in Japan where a bunch of dogs got left behind at this station in Antarctica after the other team was meant to go back. But a snowstorm came around and the Japanese government was like, no. And the dogs were left there to survive on their own. And of the 15 that were left behind, only two of them, Tara and Jiro, survived. That's basically the basic plot of what happened in Antarctica. But in A Below, it's very similar. But let's talk about the plot section because today I'm going to compare these two. Now, if you've seen my top 15 movies of all time list, you probably know which one is the better movie, and you've probably seen the previous My Thoughts of episode where I said that Antarctica is the better movie. So that kind of defeats the purpose of doing this. But on the other hand, views, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about these two movies, shall we? As per usual, we will be charting the movies on the five categories. So first off, there's story. So I've already mentioned the story. Dogs left behind, try to survive, two of them survive. And the other 13 perish. But that's not what happens in Eight Below. Because I think you kind of guess what's wrong with this movie. Disney. It was made by Disney. Which means the story is going to get flanderized and make it more for the kiddos. They can't show the dogs dying in graphic ways. They can't have all 15 of them. They only have 8 of them. And I think the biggest sin of all for me, they don't kill off like most of them. So spoilers, but like who's gonna watch this movie? 2 of the dogs, old Jack and is it Dewey that dies? Yeah, Dewey. The two, old Jack and Dewey die, and this leads to, how do I describe this? The other 6 surviving, with Maya, the lead dog, basically just making it just a little bit injured but surviving. Now, I think that this is a massive disservice to the original story, because like, why have Disney make this movie? Like, you could have gotten any other studio, and you got Disney. Disney. You know what? You know what Paul Walker was involved in, also with Disney? Yeah, it's a little movie he's very not proud of. It's called Meet the Ingadidles. Like, who actually likes this movie? I'm surprised anyone would like it because it looks like complete ass. And this was one of the first films by Paul Walker? Was he in anything else before this? Okay, that's kind of awesome. No one cares about these two. No, I don't even know what this film is. It's so obscure, it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. I guess this is the film that made it popular because then he was in Fast and Furious, and then Joyride, and then other films. I hate to say it, but Meet the Deals made him popular. Ugh, yeah. Can we talk about that movie in a positive light? At least it didn't go anywhere. I'm sorry, that joke is very bad. But anyways, bottom line is, I prefer the story in the original film because it's just told more accurately, and plus it's more compelling because it's more shocking to see which dogs die. You don't expect the 2 of them in this film to survive. Except in A Below, you know who's going to survive because you know this is not the real story. This is a true story. There were definitely 8 dogs. It was definitely in the 90s. It was definitely took place in America. Well, there were American people involved. And for some reason the lighting on the lighting on the camera is tinted so that everything has a darker style and makes it look like the 5th season of Better Call Saul. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So a point goes to Antarctica. But that's not the only thing. We need to talk about the characters. Yeah, you know the characters. The memorable character, yeah, the characters in these movies are very memorable. Honestly, the dog characters are more memorable, but they're like a whole different thing entirely, and I'll separate them in a different category. But the human characters, oh boy, they're not the most interesting, but there are things to praise and critique. I honestly think that Eight Below did the characters a little bit better than Antarctica. Yeah, they're very compelling, and you buy the connection with the dogs more in this film. But we don't really see much of the humans in the original Antarctica because it's trying to be like a documentary. Because whenever they cut back to the humans, it's not really that interesting. You buy that you don't really. I mean, you buy his connection at in the beginning and at the end. But the problem is that for the middle, the main character doesn't really feel like he has a connection with the dog. He just feels kind of like desperate, a bit, and not in a compelling way. Whereas in Eight Below, you really buy the connection that Paul Walker. I'm not calling him Jerry Shepard because let's be honest, it's Paul Walker. You buy the connection that Paul Walker has to the eight dogs, and it is bad to see that two of them don't make it. But then again, more compelling that 13 of them don't make it. It's a lot darker, and hell, like six of their bodies are never found. Like that's gruesome. And what's this movie rated? I'm just gonna. Did I make this joke? I'm sorry, I made this. I made the Antarctic episode like a month ago. I haven't done any real videos since since November because exams. So yeah, I prefer the characters in Eight Below because they're more compelling, and you buy the connection more, and you actually see them more, despite the movie being shorter. This is only 2 hours, and the other is 2 hours and 23 minutes in the Japanese version, but 1 hour and 52 minutes in the American version. But of course, I watched the Japanese version because what am I, racist? I feel like I'm starting to go way too much into my thoughts of kind of writing, or in this case, not writing because I have no script. But yeah, a point goes to Eight Below, and I'm gonna do a thing where I'm gonna put the categories in order of how much fair it is. But yeah, music and cinematography, yeah, it's the first. Yeah, Antarctica wins. Like, is it really that much of a surprise? This movie is trying to capture how beautiful Antarctica is. Yeah, it's a crap hole to live in, but like, it's Antarctica. Like, it's at the bottom of the continent. It's not of the continent. It's at the bottom of the earth. It's literally so far away from society that, like, it's just really far away. Like, you try getting there, oh, you're gonna have a hard time getting out. It's very big. If it was a country, then it'd be the second biggest in the world, behind Russia, with 14 million kilometers squared, or 5.5 million square miles. This is going very educational. And yeah, it's very dead pan continent, just very dead continent. But I feel like there's a certain beauty that no one can see in Antarctica. People just expect it to be a nightmarish hellhole, and yeah, it is. But if you actually stop and look at it, it is the most beautiful continent on the earth. The cinematography in this movie is spectacular. Probably some of the best I've seen in any movie. And the music is also incredible as well. This is the guy that composed Chariots of Fire. You know the da 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 that track. You know, very famous. And he also composed Blade Runner as well. Like this guy has talent, and he came to Japan to compose this film. And he definitely has the exact same kind of a style of music. You know, cool 80s synth. The opening soundtrack is fantastic. The soundtrack in the middle is great. The ending track is beautiful. Just the soundtrack of this movie is amazing. Listen to it. You will love it. I might even be making a video on my favorite film tracks, but shh. So yeah, obviously a point goes to Antarctica. And I was going to separate the two in different categories, but then there will be no suspense of which one would be better because a problem I have noticed from the other versus series videos is that I would usually have them be in a bad order where it's very easy to tell which one's going to be the winner. So I'm just going to stick with doing like this kind of thing from now on. Story, characters, and then other categories that matter. Anyways, back onto this movie. So, on the movies. So, the next category is acting. Not from the humans. Well, actually, the acting from the humans is okay in both movies. There's nothing really to talk about. But the dogs. What do I think of the acting from the dog characters? All 6 of them. Riki, Anko, Shiro, Jaku, Deri, Guma, Taro, and Jiro. All of them are very well trained, and you actually get a lot of emotion from them. Like a lot of movies with animals as like the main characters, not just talking ones, like actual animals. It's usually easy to tell that there's like a treat being waved around them, and they're like, "Oh, treat, treat." But with this film and A Below, the dogs are very well trained, and you actually buy the fact that they're well functioning dogs in an environment like this. But in Antarctica, I don't know. They just thought their friendship with each other isn't as much bosh. Like, yeah, they're very good to come across and they do have a lot of emotion, but you never really feel that connection with each other. They're very likable dogs, but it's nothing like spectacular. But with A Below, I think the dogs are much better trained in that film. Of course, they're well trained in this film as well, but in A Below, I think they act a lot better. You care a lot more for them. You care for the dogs in Antarctica as well. But the thing is that they die so quickly that's kind of unpleasant sometimes. But that's the point of the film. It's meant to be telling a true story. And didn't I say that the film should have told a more truer story, like be more closer to the original story? Well, there is good to come out of that as well, despite a lot of the not good. Not bad, but just not good. The acting of the dogs are very well done, and they're well trained, so it doesn't look like, treat waving. So, I'm gonna give another point to, not Antarctica, A Below. So, finally, pacing. This is the most important one, because these movies are both very long. Antarctica more so, because it is 2 hours and 23 minutes. And I think, let me just quickly check here. Let me just try, no, not that. For merge 2007. Do not take that first part of the context. Basically the same time. So, Transformers and the other film, Antarctica, are the same length, essentially. But actually, and I was very shocked by this, I think that the pacing in Antarctica is better than A Below. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of slow scenes in Antarctica, but it's meant to show the slow decay into madness the dogs go through, and how more desperate the human characters become by the end. With A Below, it's just, there's a lot of slow moments that don't make a lot of sense, and I think it's a bit slow paced in a lot of moments. Despite being shorter than Antarctica, it just doesn't feel like as powerful as Antarctica. It's just like more slower pace despite being shorter. So I'm afraid to say it. Not afraid to say. What the hell am I saying? It's my opinion. Antarctica is the better movie. But I think you probably knew this, so I'm not going to do this ever again, where I talk about a film before I actually talk about it in another video, without comparing one thing to another. So Antarctica wins. What a shock. But honestly, I think you should check out both these movies. Both Antarctica and A Below are incredibly well done movies that definitely deserve a lot of praise. I would give Antarctica a 9 out of 10 and A Below a 7.5, but I recommend that you check out both movies. The entirety of Antarctica is on YouTube. You can watch my review on it of my thoughts of, and then you can look at the description to watch the movie. Or you could also watch A Below, which is on Disney Plus if you have Disney Plus, or get it on DVD if you have a DVD player. VHS, not so much. So yeah, these are just really great, really good movies. For some reason, 1983 Antarctica was made by 20th Century Fox in America and was rated G. Yeah, right. They really want to hammer it in that these dogs don't come back. Like, they show their names when they die. Just check out the full review on my thoughts of. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Versus episode. Make sure you like and subscribe for more. And goodbye.